What up, everybody? It's Jamil Frazier. It is May 19th. It's about 11 o'clock, and I just finished my morning studies, basically. And as I was meditating, as I was studying, something really just came to my mind, and I want to share with you guys. As most of you guys know, the last 2 years, basically, I've been through a really kind of incredible journey. And today marks 2 years that I started being a health coach. And when I started being a health coach, I didn't intend on being a business coach. I didn't intend on being a public speaker. I didn't intend on anything really. I just felt like it was something that I needed to do. Maybe I had no clue. I had no clue at all. But one of the things that really came to me this morning as I was studying, as I was getting my mind right, and as I was getting better, 2 years ago I was in a really, really bad place. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to have a healthy relationship. There was all these things that I wanted to do, but I didn't know how to do them because I was so wrapped up in what my typical daily activities were, and people would make suggestions to me, but it was very hard for me to change the way that I thought because every single day I went through thinking that way. Basically, from the time I was born, going through schools, I was taught to think one way. I was taught to, go to school, get a good education, get a high paying, safe job with really healthy benefits. And although people had the best intentions for me, they were basically training me on how to be an employee, how to go and work for someone else, how to go and listen to a boss, how to go and maybe be at a job that I didn't want to, how to basically make someone else's dreams come true and not make my own dreams come true. And because of that, I was really, really run down. And now, as I'm studying more and I'm become more aware and I'm becoming more enlightened, I see this happening to a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I associate with, a lot of people on Facebook. I see people posting every single Monday. Damn it, here we go with the Monday blues again. And it's so funny that every single week they're saying the same things, and they act as if, Jim Rohn would say, well, we are not trees, we are human beings. We have something called choice. And they act as if they are trees and they don't have an opportunity to change their situation whenever they want to. And so every single week, I talk to people who feel like they are caught in a situation, and I remember it. I remember it very, very well. But one of the things that they don't know, just like I don't know, is if they don't change, then their circumstances aren't going to change. For example, I used to say a lot of things like, I'm not going to go there, it costs too much, or it's too expensive. Or I would say, I'm not going to try to get this promotion, or I'm not going to try to start my own business. Or I would always think about the things that I couldn't do instead of thinking about the things that I could do. And what I didn't know back then was when we say we can't do something, right away we're shutting off the opportunities to even begin to do them. Well, the fact of the matter is, if we say I can do something, then right away the universe will start to open up and will start to allow us to figure out how to do it. And I didn't know that before. So, for example, I'll talk to people every single day that want to get their bodies healthier. And, we'll talk about what would be really neat for them and their goals and their aspirations in their life. And then it might get to the price and they'll say, I cannot afford it. It's not something I want to do. So right away, even opportunity with them trying to figure out how to afford it because they need to change their lives, especially many of them have been dealing with this hurt, this pain, this disappointment, this not feeling like they are beautiful, not feeling like they are themselves. Many of this has been going on for years. And just because they've already closed off the opportunity and said, I can't do it, the universe isn't even going to allow for it to happen. But if we could say something like, well, what if I could do it? Then right away we'll start just stuff will start to come to us, and ideas will start to come. For example, there's a lot of people that I work with, and I might mention to them, it would be very, very important for you to attend this seminar or attend this training or attend this call. and right away they'll say, well, I can't do it, my child has this, or something will come up. We have a birthday party, or I have to babysit my friend's kids, and yet they've been struggling for years and years and years, like I was. And I'm giving them the answers, but right away they'll say they can't do it. And so what we have to understand, if we have to operate from a standpoint of, well, I can do it, and now that I've opened it up to the universe, now I just have to figure out how I can do it. And it'll happen anyway in your life. Right now you could say, I want to be a millionaire. Most people will say, well, I can't be a millionaire because no one in my family has, or I didn't get a great education, or right now I'm making $10 an hour. And so because we say we can't do it, it's not going to happen. That's just the way that the laws work. But if we say, well, I can do it, and so now we start to open up the possibilities, and the universe will start working with you, and you'll see that different thoughts will start coming to you, different opportunities will start coming to you, different people will come into your life. Like me, for example, I hear a lot of people say, what a great coincidence that we've met. It's not a coincidence at all. It's exactly how it's supposed to be. And that's probably because they started thinking about the things that they actually want as opposed to what they don't want. And the laws of attraction will just state that, these people start coming into your life. So one of the major things that I see that's going on is this. I see a lot of people wasting their time with stuff that doesn't matter, wasting their time watching TV shows that don't matter. I used to do the same thing, wasting their time reading magazines like what's the latest on Kim Kardashian and Kanye, wasting their time reading magazines, what's Jay-Z doing and what's Beyonce doing, and why did Jay-Z get beat up, or I see people, wasting their time watching videos about cats fighting off dogs instead of watching videos on how they can completely change their lives. And I completely understand it because that's what I did too. And one of the things that I started doing about a year ago, from last year at this time to this year at this time, if I could only tell you how much things have changed in terms of success, in terms of almost every area in my life changing for the better, you would be amazed. There's no clue. Or so one of the things I started doing was I stopped wasting time, and I'm getting better. I still waste a lot of time, but I've really gotten better with stop wasting time doing things that aren't going to help me get the things that I want. For example, if I want a healthier body, I need to stop doing some of the stuff that I'm doing and start doing some stuff that's going to help me. Same thing if I want to improve my mind. Definitely if you want to improve your finances. So I want to take you guys through a little bit of a journey of some books that I picked up and I start reading instead of wasting my time watching TV shows or listening to my friends gossip or listening to my friends who aren't necessarily moving forward and aren't doing anything. I used to spend a lot of time listening and getting involved with that stuff, and now I try to spend my time with people and books and tapes and audios that are inspiring me to do the things that I actually want to do instead of sitting around like a victim all the time. So one of the first books that I read was this one right here. It's The Richest Man in Babylon, and I read this book several years ago. It had to be about 2006, but I was so far gone mentally, I had no clue what it was talking about. Since then, I've read the book. Since last year, around this time, I read this book about 5 times. One of the books you'll always, always, always see me with is this one. So I've read this book so many times. It's by John Maxwell. He, does a ton in terms of leadership and development. And this book right here, Developing a Leader Within You, I really started reading this book in August of last year. And I was at a place to where I still wanted to blame the people who were helping me, my mentorship. I want to blame them all the time for my business not growing the way that I was supposed to. And one of the things that I didn't know that they were molding me to was to take responsibility of my own business. And so after I got back from a really cool leadership training out in the mountains in Salt Lake or in Utah, I began this quest to take personal responsibility and to really develop my leadership skills. And so one of the first books I picked up, this was actually the third leadership book that I picked up. And it's almost like for people, that really believe in the Bible and stuff, this would be my Bible. So I would suggest reading that. A couple years ago, my marriage was struggling a ton, and I'm sure my mother-in-law knew that. And so she sent me this book, which is called The Four Agreements. Um, I read this book in one night from about 11:30 at night, and I stayed up to about 4:30 in the morning. And I read this book, and at that time, it made sense to a certain degree, but it didn't make sense because mentally I was jacked up. And then I read it again about a year ago, and it's one of the principles that I try to live my life by right now. And it's just very, very simple. It's the Four Agreements, and you can pick it up. The author is is Don Miguel Ruiz, and so it's really, really important. Another book that I read that's been instrumental to my life is this one here, and it's called Discovering Your Optimal Health. It's by one of my mentors, Dr. Wayne Anderson. And the book is just about becoming healthy overall. One of the things we completely miss is we think that sometimes we just think that becoming healthy means we're not on medications, or becoming healthy means that we're at a healthy weight. That is just a very, very small part of it. We need to be healthy to experience health overall. We need to have a healthy body. We need to have a healthy mind, eliminating the stress within our lives, eliminating the terrible relationships we have, and we need to have healthy finances. And that book really talks about making the decision to make health your priority. There's so many people I talk to throughout the day that are still making things that don't even matter their priority. Um, Physicians come to mind, in fact. Just healthcare in general is one of the fastest killing industries in our nation. Just look at our doctors, look at our nurses, look at our physicians' assistants, look at all of them are unhealthy, and yet they're trying to promote health, which is so silly. I can't tell you how many clients I have right now who are physicians, who are nurses, who are in the healthcare arena that have no clue about health. And it's so funny. And basically, it's such a high stress and high emotional, high volatile, high I need to see this many people. And these guys that we're relying on to help us in terms of our health, they don't even know. And so it's so funny. So pick up that book. It's a really strong one. One of the books that I read that really revamped my life was this book right here, and it's called Good to Great. And what happens is sometimes in our life we get so comfortable with the good stuff that's happening that we never experience our greatness. This happens in relationships, this happens in business. I see it happening all the time to people that I work with. I still see it happening to me, to where I really, really limit myself because I've gotten comfortable. So sometimes within our lives, we have to really be mindful and cognizant to give up the things that really look good to experience our greatness. One thing that really comes to mind is, I work with a lot of people, and I ask them what it is that they want. And they'll tell me what they want, their aspirations, their dreams, and stuff like that. And then I'll make suggestions on how they can get it, and yet they will still continue to do the things that they're really comfortable with doing because they're not ready to give those things up. And so, it's really important to give up those things that seemingly look good, to give up your greatness. For example, if I'm helping someone try to get a healthier body, and they need to adhere to maybe our meal plan, and they go out and they're going to go to a bachelor party, and they really want to hang out with their boys and they want to have fun and things like that, I'll suggest to them, this weekend's going to be a really big test for you. That's going to hanging out with your friends and drinking and eating and having a blast for 3 days is going to be good. But if we can hold that off, and then we can get to the place that you want to get to in the next 3 months, you are going to be feeling great, and you're going to experience things that you never even thought you could experience before. And you're going to have relationships you never thought you would have. You're going to Things are going to be completely different. The same happens with those that want to build their businesses within our health coaching family. Um, they might have anything. It could be a birthday party for the friend. And on that day, we might have a huge training that if they knew what I knew, they would do what I do. And so to them, going to that birthday party, which is 1 day event, is really, really good. That's going to be fun. They're going to see all their friends and things like that, to where going to this training could be great. And it could literally revamp and change their whole entire life, and they have no clue. And so they'll still go to that birthday party and not go to the training, not knowing that they just experienced a good and completely gave up their greatness for that particular day. I went to one training that changed my life. I flew all the way out to Washington, D.C. to go to some event I had no clue about, and within a day and a half, I made the decision that it was going to be in my vehicle to change everything. And since then, so much has changed. That was less than 2 years ago. So anyhow, that's a great book. Another book that I love is this one right here. It's another leadership book by Maxwell, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And this really teaches you how to work with yourself, and it teaches you how to work with people, especially if you want to build better relationships and if you want to be in a leadership position. If you ever contemplated about being a better parent, being a better role model, being a better leader, whether that's in business or within your household, having your own organization, having your own business. If you are a pastor and you're leading a congregation, read that book. You will not regret it. And listen to the verbiage and the leadership and all that, or the language, because it's really important. Okay. Last book that I'll share with you guys, there's a huge stack right here, but I'll just share with you guys one that really started my quest to developing myself and stop necessarily doing the things that I didn't want to do. And that is this book, again, by one of my mentors, Dr. Wayne Anderson. You can see how jacked up the book is. This book talks about optimal health. It just does. And it talks about a ton of stuff. A lot of us, our bodies are really unhealthy. Our minds are really unhealthy. Our finances are broken. We don't know how to deal with stress. We don't sleep very well. I'm still working on that one. I'm not ashamed to say it. I haven't figured all this stuff out. That book literally is a blueprint to how to control all of that within 300 or something pages. You can go from unhealthy in a lot of different ways to healthy. So this is what I work with people with. And one of the things that I'll tell you guys is, right now it's kind of cool because um, most people that start to grow to a really, really successful level, they will share their secrets with you, but they will start charging you a ton of money. I am about 2 years away from that. Okay. So right now I work with a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and my time is free basically to them, especially if they start this program, and especially if they join our team of health coaches. So, all of us need help. I certainly need help. I have a couple people that work really, really closely with me. But one thing that I want to convey is if there's any area within your life that you want to change, um, the universe is going to send you signals, and it's going to send you opportunities to change them. One of the things I would really suggest is for you not to right away say, no, I can't do that, or no, that's not meant for me, or no, I can't work with that person, or no, I can't do what that person does, or I don't have the education that that person does, or I don't have the thought process that that person does. Any of that stuff. The only thing I want you to do is just entertain the idea that you can do it. Entertain the idea that you can pay $300 a month, what you're already paying, by the way, for food that's crap, to spend on a program, eating system that's no doubt going to change your physical body. Entertain the fact that you can fly across country to go to an event that's going to potentially, well, not potentially, it is. If you show up, it is going to change some aspect of your life. Don't say, well, I don't have $500 to do it. If you want to change your life, then get it. Go borrow it. go raise money for it, go sell some cookies, go do something. But if you keep having that thought process that no, I can't do it, or this person, my husband won't let me do it, or my wife won't let me do it, or I got 5 kids, and if we cannot take responsibility, I can assure you with all shadow of a doubt that it is not going to change. You have to change. You have to say, let's do it. I'm going to entertain it. I might not want to do it. I might feel like I don't have the finances to do it. But if you keep thinking that way, I swear to God, it is not going to change. Entertain the idea that you can do it. So these are things that just kind of popped into my mind today. Um, I don't even know if you guys are going to watch this, especially for this long, because it went really long. But I just, I know in my heart, I know where I was just 24 months ago, and I was in a bad place. A lot of you guys didn't even know I was in a really bad place. And, I've experienced some things, and just within 2 years, so much has changed because, I made a decision that I was going to change. I was going to work on a lot of my crap, and it's not going to change unless we change. So, I'm here to help anybody. I really, really am. If you don't start this program, I'm going to help probably on a little bit more of a limited basis, but I'm still going to try to share what I know. And if you are like me and you're waking up every Monday and you got the Monday blues, you might want to start thinking about maybe working for yourself, which coaches on our team are doing, and these guys are starting to make a lot of money too, simply by helping other people get what it is that they want. And I'm really, really good at partnering with people and helping them show them how to get the things that they want. But you guys got to make a decision that you're not going to keep struggling. And so you might, if this might go out, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking about people that you know too. So a ton of people that are in really bad situations right now: body, mind, spirit, finances. So you can feel free to share this video with them. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff going on there. And get those people in contact with me that are struggling, because if I didn't have someone, Becky Flamong, a lot of you guys know her, if I didn't have her 2 years ago extend her hand to me, who knows where I would be today. So have a great Monday, everyone. Keep doing your thing. Change the way that you think, and you definitely will change your life. I'll talk to you guys later.